Every bloke out there wants bigger biceps, but sometimes it feels like your arms are making no progress in relation to the rest of your body. You're increasing in weight and reps whenever you train chest, back, or legs, but for some reason, whenever you train biceps, you're still doing the same weight for the same reps and the same amount of sets. So in this video, I'm going to go over 3 reasons why your biceps may not be growing, and you'll see that with just a few small changes to your workout plan, your biceps will start growing and catching up with your other muscles, and more importantly, looking bigger. Let's get straight into reason number 1, and that is that you're consistently using light weight with higher reps. So you've probably heard, or it may just feel natural, that using lighter weight for smaller muscles makes more sense. And so to take your sets to failure using light weight, you are then going to have to use higher reps. Using lightweight with high reps 100% works. The thing is, it makes it really difficult to progressively overload. If you have to do 20 reps of a bicep curl when you're using 8 kilograms, for example, then to progressively overload, you're then going to have to do 21 reps or more. And this is going to make it really difficult to track because there's so many reps in your set. It just makes it really difficult and more tiresome to track your sets. But also because you're hitting failure at rep 20 or even 15 or 12, you then have half of your set where you're not really getting much stimulus from the biceps. So you're having to do a ton of reps just to make the exercise difficult for then there to be actual progress to be made during your set. Whereas if you bumped up the weight maybe 25 to 30% and started doing sets of a rep range between 8 to 10 or even 6 to 8, then from the first rep, it's going to be a difficult exercise. So you're not wasting time and energy getting to a certain point in the set where then it becomes difficult. I'd highly recommend mixing in maybe 1 or 2 exercises per week where you're bumping up the weight pretty considerably and doing sets of anywhere between 6 to 10. Moving on to reason number 2 that your biceps are not growing is that you're doing the same workouts every single session. Arm day comes around or your pull day comes around and your 2 bicep exercises are always the same easy bar curl or standing strict bicep curl. One really important point to remember when training the biceps is that you want to mix up your elbow positioning and also your grip. Try to do a variety of different exercises throughout the week or throughout your workout plan. Each time you train biceps, use a different elbow positioning, whether that be in front of the body, to the side of the body, or behind the body. This is where exercises like incline curls or preacher curls are fantastic. When you change the elbow positioning as you're performing a bicep exercise, this actually shifts the bias from either the long head or the short head of the bicep. So if you're doing an exercise where your elbow positioning is in front of your body, like a preacher curl, this is going to bias the short head of the bicep. But if you're doing an exercise where your elbow is behind your body, then this is going to bias the long head. And the long head specifically is what makes that bicep peak, that kind of shortened looking bicep. And although you can't completely isolate the long head from the short head or vice versa, changing the elbow positioning and the exercise that you're doing can definitely bias one head over the other. And the reason number 3 why your biceps may not be growing is that you're only stopping your sets until your biceps are sore, but you're not actually tracking your progress, seeing if you're increasing in weights or reps. Now, I'm sure if you're taking muscle building relatively seriously, you'll be tracking lifts like lat pull downs, bench press, leg press, and your exercises on your larger muscle groups. But you should still do the same when it comes to your smaller muscles like your biceps, as tracking your workouts is going to be the only way you really know you're making true progress. So if you did strict standing dumbbell bicep curls one week and you got 10 reps, if you haven't tracked that, then next week you may pick up the same weight and do 10 reps again and your biceps are feeling super sore at your 10th rep, and so you stop your set. However, if you had tracked the week before and realized that you'd hit 10 reps the week before, and today either I need to bump up the weight and aim for like 6 to 8 reps, or I keep the weight the same, but I aim for 11 or 12 reps. This is where tracking makes such a difference. And if you compound that small difference over a long period of time, your biceps will blow up. So don't just hit your bicep exercises and stop the set once your biceps are feeling a little bit sore, but try and make true progress. The easiest way to know that you're making true progress is by tracking. All right, so now that we've covered the 3 reasons why your biceps may not be growing, Implement either 1, 2, or all 3 of those tips into your workout plan. Stick with them over a relatively long period of time and see the difference that it makes to your bicep growth. And if you're looking for some extra help, then hit the link in the description to work one-to-one with me to achieve your dream physique a lot faster. Thanks for watching, hope this helps and you'll grow some massive biceps. See you in the next one.